Good morning, everyone. This is Thursday, June. It's June already. I don't know how it's June already, but welcome. Welcome to our Thursday morning check-in. This morning, I wanted to have a bit of a conversation, posit a couple of my thoughts about what's sort of going on in the world. There's lots of stuff on the news. There's lots of issues at play. We're still dealing with all the COVID-19 issues, but more and more we are hearing more and more about Black Lives Matter, about race, about confronting racism, both in the United States and in Canada. One of the things that I've been hearing a lot about is being thankful that we live in Canada, where racism is not as much of a problem. And while, yes, I'm very thankful that I live in Canada, the absence of racism is not the case in Canada. I know that for sure. But it still begs the question, what do we do about things? And how do we have difficult conversations about racism, about the Black Lives Matter movement, and about a lot of other things that sort of undergird a lot of our society that sometimes is challenging to talk about and to think about. So I don't want to harp too much on it, but I do want to lift up a letter that was written, and this is a joint letter from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Canada, the United Church of Canada, and the Anglican Church of Canada. We'll be sending that out in our Thursday email, but I would lift this up for anybody who is interested on where our church stands as a denomination. Here at St. Thomas United Church, we talk a lot about open hands, open hearts, and open minds. And I think that also applies to this topic, this conversation. Racism is alive and well in Canada, and we need to do what we can to confront this issue and have difficult conversations. I wanted to lift up a couple of things that have been impactful for me this week as I've been struggling and thinking and doing some soul work on this same topic. The first is a quote from Candice LeBlanc. She wrote a piece called Dear White People, This is What We Want You to Do, published May the 30th. And she goes through a whole list of things of what I want you to do and what I don't want you to do. So this is part of that piece that stuck out to me. She says, I don't want you to feel at ease. I want you to take a look at yourself. I want you to shed light on the corners of your subconscious you've glossed over for years. I want you to know that you are racist because you have been trained to do so. And it's within your power to become anti-racist. For me, that piece stuck out to me. It echoed in my heart. So often we think about being racist as being one of those people that can't help but spew racist slurs or take intentional racist actions against minorities, against particular groups with hate and malice. And while that's true, racism is also those things that we don't think about, those things that we as majority culture don't notice, those things that are uncomfortable for us to sit and ponder long and deep on. So for me this week, that's what's been playing in my heart and weighing in my soul. Those things that I don't like to think about, I don't like to look at, and that weigh heavy on my soul. So I don't know what you are doing about this topic, but I know what I will be. I will be reading, I will be praying, and I will be looking deeply into the mirror for what I don't want or like to see. For those things in my life that I haven't earned of my own volition and yet I still accept and participate in. Not to feel guilty about those things, but to be cognizant of them. Because when we are cognizant of these things and these privileges in my life and in our lives, it enables us to act. It enables us to do things about invisible things that we may not have noticed before. When the invisible becomes visible, and when we notice what is easy to ignore, we can take steps. We can take actions. So I don't know what you're doing. Maybe comment on that. Comment on what you're doing, what you're up to. But I know what I will be. I'll be looking in the mirror more closely. I'll be reading from voices and hearing stories that are unfamiliar to mine. And I will be doing what I can to notice the racist tendencies that are explicit and implicit in my life, in my worldview, in my community, and doing what I can to make the invisible visible. And then taking action. And in that work, I hope God is with you. I pray that God is with you along that journey. I pray that God is with all of those people and those voices and those journeys that are the same as mine and that are different than mine. And I hope that I am able to live into noticing the realities of a variety of perspectives and points of view. That I may be better, that I may do and love and be more Christ-like in the world. Know that in this journey, God goes with you. Know that we here at St. Thomas love you and are journeying alongside of you, now and always. In Christ's name and as Christ's people. Amen.